Thanks and welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atimbi. The National Communication Council has announced the suspension of all political programs on audiovisual media during campaign period. The measure aims to mitigate tensions and ensure peaceful electoral process. And the famous Douala group championed by Anise Kani has again pushed for opposition coalition, announcing new alliances and strategies aimed at consolidating opposition force. And the Anti-Corruption Commission (CONAC) has frowned at ministries and other public institutions refusing to collaborate in the fight against corruption in the country. Top stories. To join me. Of course, you can consult us on our respective platforms on Canal International. We begin from Douala, where the National Communication Council has actually announced the suspension of all political programming on audiovisual media during the campaign period. And according to the council, this measure aims to mitigate tensions and, of course, ensure peaceful electoral process. Morindi report.
In a move aimed at preserving peace during the upcoming presidential election, Cameroon's National Communication Council has announced plans to suspend political programs on audiovisual media throughout the campaign period. The decision disclosed during a press briefing in Douala on Wednesday seeks to mitigate tensions and maintain national unity as the country approaches the October 12 presidential election.
During the presidential election campaign of the 12th of October 2024, the National Communication Council will suspend any and all political programs that is not specifically designed as an official campaign program. This measure aims to ensure fair treatment and better traceability of political messages.
The NCC emphasized the importance of professionalism among media outlets, urging both public and private broadcasters to adhere strictly to journalistic ethics before, during, and after the election. The Council's directive, they emphasize, is part of broader efforts to ensure a peaceful electoral process.
The NCC has made significant efforts to improve its media monitoring capability by acquiring digital monitoring kits. These advanced technological tools, which can be transported with ease and deployed nationwide.
However, media experts have raised concerns about the potential limitation of this approach. Critics argue that suspending political programming could hinder public discourse and restrict access to diverse viewpoints during this critical democratic exercise.
Considering that the presidential elections are just some few weeks to come, we're expecting that the council can help support the media in order to really do a better coverage of these elections. We quite know that the public is willing to really know what is going on.
The press dinner in Douala served as a platform for the NCC to engage with journalists, reinforcing the role of the media as a pillar of social peace and national cohesion.
And the famous Douala group, championed by Anise Kani, has pushed for more opposition coalition, announcing new alliances and strategies, of course, aimed at consolidating the opposition move. In fact, they made a call at the headquarters of the African Movement for New Independence and Democracy, Manidem, this morning. Once more, Morindi.
The coalition emphasized the necessity of unity, advocating for a single opposition candidate, a shared political agenda, vigilance, electoral oversight, and establishment of a national unity government. Leaders acknowledged the challenges of achieving consensus, but remains optimistic about the possibility of overcoming internal divisions.
L'appel que nous lançons vise principalement les...
We are here to alert the population who are mounting pressure of seeing a consensus candidate. Groups are being formed, including one in the Grand North and another in the diaspora already, who stand with us. We are launching an appeal to everyone that October 12th election will be a test for people's will against the system. We have been working for years to seek a transition and construct a framework for it. So it's essential for people to feel concerned. Some say it's difficult to have a single candidate, but we believe it's possible if candidates defend a vision and an ideology.
Le travail que vous nous avez demandé, nous sommes en train de le faire.
The Douala Group also calls for a repeal of restrictive laws that limit civil liberties and demanded the immediate release of political prisoners. These actions are parts of a broader strategy, they say, to galvanize support and challenge the long-standing dominance of the ruling party, the CPDM.
Un courant d'opinion au niveau des candidats.
The debate is certain around having a single candidate, but we need a candidate who can build around the pillars of opposition, a candidate with a clear vision. Our message to Cameroonians is to mobilize and obtain their voters' card, which urge everyone to get involved and make their voices heard. The initiative comes in the wake of the controversial exclusion of prominent opposition figure Maurice Kamto from the presidential race, a decision that has sparked significant debate and concern over the fairness of the electoral process. Despite internal disagreements and the fragmentation of the opposition groups, the Douala coalition continues to advocate for united fronts to effect political change in Cameroon.
And with just weeks to go, or just days to go for the start of the new academic year, some students are actually turning into small-scale businesses to raise funds for essential school needs. And so Sarah Shelfa Saleh went through the markets and caught up with some of these children. And this is what she puts together.
In the final stretch before the new school year begins, preparation is in full swing across communities. For some students, the run-up to the 2025-2026 academic year has taken a different turn. They have become entrepreneurs. Carrying goods on their heads and in their arms, they are investing time and energy into small trade, hoping to multiply their profits. Behind their efforts lies a clear goal to secure enough money for books, uniforms, and other essential materials needed for their return to school. Some students have reported modest gains, while others admitted that their ventures had not brought into the expected returns. With less than 2 weeks before classes resume, the coming days could prove decisive. This initiative, though modest, helps ease the financial pressure on parents during what is often one of the most demanding periods of the year. For now, the young sellers remain hopeful that both their determination and the needs of their peers will bring a last-minute boost in sales.
And move over to the central region, where cocoa farmers in Makenene in the Bam and Inubu division have been applauded for the quality of their harvest. Cameroon is today ranked 4th in the world in terms of cocoa production, behind Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana and Ecuador, of course, thanks to their efforts. And so bonuses were awarded or shared to motivate them in order to keep improving on the hills. Of course, this was shared by the Minister of Trade, Luc Malwa Mbarga Tangana. Beatrice Ngamu.
The status of Cameroonian cocoa has undergone remarkable transformation. Once neglected on the international market, Cameroonian cocoa is today prized for its quality. Its new global standing reflects this progress, 4th position in the world today. Rising yields are driven by producers' consistent performance, particularly here at Makenene, Bam and Enugu division of the central region. Their achievements have been saluted by the government.
The message is just to tell them that the cocoa of Cameroon has a bright future. The world market is on the needs of Cameroon because they need our cocoa.
The producer today is the master of the game between national and international markets, and thus needs to take advantage of this, better boost the sector in line with government's policy in place.
Local processing is 50% of our production. It means that the producer has the choice between selling for export or selling locally. It means that they will win more if they are well organized, if they are more intelligent.
These policies focus on two main areas: raising production standards and ensuring fair benefit sharing, which the farmers have been well trained to understand good qualities that goes with it. Good fermentation develops flavor, good drying reduces moisture, sorting of beans selects the best for optimal quality. The government has underlined the importance of farmers' contribution, recognition warmly welcomed and very appreciated, to not only forge ahead, but for them to better prepare children for the upcoming academic year.
On va bien travailler pour que prochainement ça va nous aider à payer la scolarité de nos enfants, les fournitures et consorts.
The August 26, 2025 ceremony, both solemn and emotional, symbolized collective appreciation for farmers whose work brings global recognition to Cameroon's cocoa.
Beatrice Ngama reporting there, and for many years now, the western entrance into Douala has been a nightmare to drivers and commuters, plagued by potholes. In fact, that actually paralyzes traffic. So far, 65% of the work has been done at Carrefour Music, but then there are brighter futures or optimism as the delays have been caused by heavy rains. Maureen D has the update on that.
The west entrance to Douala, particularly the music intersection, a critical point on Douala's western entrance, has long been a source of frustration for commuters due to its deteriorated state and persistent traffic congestion. Despite ongoing rehabilitation efforts, heavy rains have posed challenges to the progress of the works. Nevertheless, engineers report that the project has reached 65% physical completion, offering a glimmer of hope to weary road users.
Minister installed that a permanent team must be put in place by the company at music, so that at any time during the day, if there is a critical zone, that team must intervene immediately. So we are sure that anytime the circulation is well at Music Junction, and if in the night there is some perturbation, it is just because in the night the company takes a few minutes to repair the gradations.
The General Directorate of Technical Studies from the Ministry of Public Works recently conducted an inspection following the Minister's visit to the site. The completion works at the music intersection is projected for the end of the week, after which attention will shift to other critical junctions, including the Rai and Sapeur roundabouts. The focus will then move to the eastern entrance of Douala, specifically at Entrebill area.
For the other zones that have to be treated, as Rai Junction, as Sapeur Junction, as Carrefour in the eastern entry of Douala town, we are also there to see how we can manage the traffic during the work which are to be carried out in the few days.
To facilitate smoother traffic flow, authorities urge motorists to adhere to instructions from law enforcement officers. The Overaching project aims to conclude the rehabilitation of Douala Western Entrance within 4 weeks, promising improved mobility for the city's residents.
And the perception of Yaoundé population and risk factors contributing to non-communicable diseases, or the high burden of non-communicable disease, has been made public, and this has been done through dietary and physical activities, as revealed by a group of researchers of the Faculty of Biomedical Sciences of the University of Yaoundé, #1. Beatrice Ngama.
Non-communicable diseases are medical conditions that are not caused by infectious agents, not transmissible from one person to another. They are usually developed slowly and last for a long time, such as cardiovascular, cancer, chronic respiratory, kidney, neurological disorder, diabetes, and others. Issues under study for some 3 years to know from Yaoundé citizens the problem of the rising non-communicable diseases.
The dietary and physical activity landscape, the diet and physical activity policies, how they are influencing the way people live, the way people eat, and the way people move and are active around Yaoundé, which is contributing to this increased disease burden.
The participants, actors in the whole process, are council, agriculture, youths and sports, and university officials.
These recommendations are point of action that the government, the ministries, all the people should take so as to increase physical activity, decrease harmful diet, and especially all the other risk factors for non-communicable diseases.
We have to be purposeful about how we develop a city that would be active, that would encourage healthy diet, such that we can reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases, but also in a climate resilient manner.
Proper diet, physical upkeep in the name of sports amidst the effects of climate change, what we need to keep the heart and body healthy.
A human body who is healthy is very active and can be very much productive. So if we are not active health-wise, we cannot be active in our various domain. So I will call on the government to create more sportive environments so that Cameroonians can be very active in sport.
Content of the restitution workshop made public this August 24th. Results of their work with the different stakeholders in Yaoundé. An initiative of the Health of Population Transition Research Group under the Faculty of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences of the University of Yaoundé 1, other partners through the Global Diet Afflictable Research funded by the UK government.
And we stay in Yaoundé, where the second edition of the African Rural Women's Fair is underway. 40 African countries are participating in the agro-pastoral and cosmetic fair. Huri Hamidou Abdul was part of that fair.
A continental exhibition of finished products produced and transformed by African women from Cameroon and beyond is on exhibition at the National Museum in Yaoundé. Rural women who were once seen merely as homemakers are now actively contributing to the agricultural value chain and showcasing their expertise to the world.
We have decided to come together to do something extraordinary to uplift rural women from misery. 44 African countries, including Cameroon, have joined forces, which means we can actively participate in decision making.
The exhibitors brought a variety of products, including sorghum, transformed into coffee, honey, cassava, and traditional attires.
We sell Ghanaian, like you can see, we have mixed with Ghanaian materials. So we sell things like this. They're handmade. Yes, we produce them and we mark them with our hands. Things like this, we produce and we mark.
They also showcased a solar cooker suitable for both rural and urban areas. This innovative cooker, which uses a little quantity of charcoal and solar energy, prepares food in no time. During the event opened in August 26, the representative of the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family emphasized the value of rural women.
La femme rurale est une actrice incontournable de notre pays.
Rural women in our country are indispensable. We cannot implement policies for rural women's involvement in politics without their contribution.
This second edition of the fair brought together rural women from 40 countries, including Chad, Madagascar, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, each presenting their unique expertise. Chaired by the representative of the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, the event is held in partnership with the Ministry of Trade. The ceremony featured musical interludes and the installation of the first ever executive bureau of the Confederation of the Rural Women. The event will run until August 29.
Huri Amidou reporting there and drawing the cuttings for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atimbe. You can consult also if you missed out something our respective platforms on Canal International. Lipiju is just right ahead with the brief for actuality. Goodbye.